Hey everybody, how you doing? DJ Hawk, Metal World Radio. Except today we're doing something entirely different than my most normal content. We're going to do something that's very important. So we have something happening, and I got these beautiful ladies. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Leah Reno. I'm a community member of Albuquerque, as well as a student at UNM.
And my name is Elena Abeta, and I'm from refusefascism.org. I also live in Albuquerque.
So tell me a little bit, okay, so something's going on this Saturday for all of us women. This is really women, based and to come in as a community. Tell me a little bit about what's happening on Saturday.
Yes, we're here to make people aware that March 8th is International Women's Day. And we've called a march and a rally at the UNM campus, right at the Student Union, in front of the Student Union. And we'll be going down Central at 11 o'clock. That's March 8th on Saturday, this coming Saturday.
So you're going to be doing the rally and you're going to be doing the march, but what is this for?
Okay, so it's to stop the attacks on women, particularly and LGBTQ people.
Okay.
Because as everybody knows, Roe versus Wade has been abolished, has gotten rid of. We're now back to being baby factories and being in the kitchen. That's where they want us, and we're going to say, no, we refuse this. We refuse to go back. We refuse to accept the fascist movement that's going on, not just here in the United States, but around the country, and the attacks on women particularly, and the marginalized communities.
A lot of people aren't really into like the political side of things, and a lot of people like kind of put the judgment of like, oh God, I don't want to do this, But this is really important because you're also touching on a lot of other bases that are for women, yes, that are being taken from us, being stripped from us, just like our women that are being taken, literally, yes. Our missing women, the indigenous, it's been crazy. I was telling you guys a personal story where one of my friends, her daughter was kidnapped and murdered in Florida. And they're still trying to find a way to get her back home, her body back home, so they could give her the proper services, So this is really important for us to come together as a community and make people aware of what's happening. Because if we don't stand together, we're going to be standing alone all the time. And we've come through so many different generational pulls to where we are right now. So tell me a little bit about what else is going on.
Well, I wanted to mention that this has been going on since 1908, the first International Women's Day here in the United States. It was workers, women, mostly immigrants, and we're talking about immigrants too.
Yeah.
There was Italian and Jewish immigrants, but many other immigrants there that were working for pennies a day, taking their kids to work, suffering all kinds of poverty and misery. And in 1913, there was an international conference where Clara Zetkin called on 17 countries to declare this International Day, even though it was started in the United States. So yes, this is perfect time to bring up the issue that we are being raped, mutilated, taken, abandoned, murdered, buried. In Mexico, this has gone on too. It's been a big issue. Mothers looking for their dead daughters' bodies and children. So here it's happening, and Leah, I think, wants to talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm Taylor Pueblo, so I'm from northern New Mexico. Those are my indigenous lineages. But yeah, when we're talking about International Women's Day, when we're talking about the women's fight, we're talking about oppression, and that directly relates to missing and murdered indigenous women, or relatives, more encompassing. But yeah, this is a direct result of colonialism, these systematic ways that have directly and disproportionately harmed indigenous women. The rate that Native women have gone missing, have become murdered. It's unnatural. It's comes from these manufactured gender identities. And yeah, it's not natural the way that indigenous femicide has swept the nation, swept North America, South America, indigenous communities around the world. But I think that's the point to be made, that it's not natural, it's not human. And us coming together, that's why we come together to refuse this and resist and build community and build solidarity and, make sure that there will eventually be a time where, no more ladies and relatives become missing and become murdered.
I mean, we just recently had a young woman that was found, a young 12-year-old, right? And this is something that we have to pay attention to, guys, because if we don't stop it, who is? I mean, we've been screaming for some kind of justice to come about to help all women, not just Indigenous, everyone that's been going missing, men too. I mean, it's been crazy. Everybody's trying to pull a Dexter, refuse and resist. Sepultura just had to say that. It's a metal thing. But, this is really important for people to step in and come in as a community, especially all of us women that have really, we could sit there and be victimized as much as we want. Well, not really that we want, but women do get victimized completely, and it's time, don't you think, that we do something to turn it around and stand in our power. And our power doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to sit there and take a chicken or anything like that. Joking. I always joke around, you guys know this. But it's more that we have to stand together. And so what are some of the other things that you're going to touch on this rally that you're doing? What is your main goal?
Well, yeah, the main goal is to bring people together here in Albuquerque, because there have been demonstrations going on all over the world and all over the country. But there's been very little going on in Albuquerque. It's almost like the sleeping giant is still sleeping, but is starting to wake up. And last Tuesday on 4th and Lomas, there was about 300 people. And there was also a lot of people on Tuesday at the Santa Fe Capitol protesting all the students that have been kicked out of school. Now they say that if you protest in the school, that's what's going to happen. There's, I think 32,000 immigrants that have been deported. And speaking of women, there was a woman in Phoenix that was stopped for a traffic violation, and she was stopped and harassed. And her 10-year-old son was trying to defend her, okay? And she got sent to Guatemala, and I don't know what happened to the kids. And this is being duplicated, by the thousands in this country. The other day I saw on the news, there was children wrapped in aluminum foil in these terrible warehouses. They're scared, the abundant opportunities to be abused and traumatized. So that's a big issue, is the issue of the immigrants' plight. So when I say fascism, I mean that they're coming after all the marginalized groups, okay? 2025 is a real, actual program that is being executed in this country by the rulers. And we're standing up against that 2025 project that is being hammered out. Every day it's something new. It's countless. There's so many injustices and attacks that are coming down. We can't even count them.
And it's pretty horrific, honestly, because I know a lot of people that are going through this division. They're coming in, they're taking them. What's going to happen with the children? We have no answers. We're just sitting here following the rule of a sheep in wolf's clothing. What do you want to call that? I'm not going to say anything bad, but I am going to say this. I really like that you guys are coming in and you're creating something for the community to say, hey, we can stand up together. There's power in numbers, but it doesn't have to be violent, guys. It doesn't have to be violent. No. It just has to mean that you're going to stand there and say, you know what? I'm sorry. This is enough. I'm done. And when you say you're done, doesn't mean that you're going to be like, oh, you don't believe this, I'm going to go pop you. No, it's nothing like that. This is about really getting to the core issue, and it's not about being someone that's going to just jump in there and just be angry all the time, This is about something to make a real change. Real change needs to happen. And it starts with one person at a time. And if you guys come together, guess how many we're going to have, right? It's that little matchstick meme,
yes.
One fire.
In Spanish, it's called a chispa.
What are they?
Chispa.
A chispa.
Chispa. It's a flame. And I wanted to say, too, that that's exactly the way these protests are starting. It's coming from people's hearts, individual women, all kinds of people, that are going out and taking a stand. There's on 528 and 550 in Rio Rancho, there was one woman who went out by herself a few weeks ago and started a whole movement there. And that's the way these things are started. It's grassroots. There's a few organizations we're trying to come together. And we're saying, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept fascist. Like
That was confirmation.
they went after the Jews, they went after the LGBTQ people, they went after the disabled people, they hunted them down. They're coming after the indigenous women and people, and they're hunting us down. They're hunting down the what they call illegal criminals, but really, who is the real criminal?
Who's the real? Who? It's those owls, pinche brujas. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Cancel her, delete that. You know what I mean? Maybe I won't. But no, who is this? Who's doing all of this, really? And what people think is, if you're going to go into the political side of things, you voted for Trump, I'm no longer your friend. Let me tell you something, guys. A choice is a choice. And what you choose to follow, you've made a choice. And this is something I'm choosing to follow because I believe that together we will rise. And we can bring in, what is it? Ignorance is bliss. Right? So let's stick in our phones and just go through reels. Well, this reel's about to hit your phones. And hopefully it reaches you. So that way you can be here on March 8th. So tell me a little bit more about what, there's an amber alert. Danger, that's another sign. You know what that means? Danger will forget the dust warning. Okay, that was just, we're getting blown up. Ha! My bad, but we got to get back to this. So, I love your all thick pin. Hey, guys from all thick. She's wearing your pin. Okay, and this is another thing too, is that, a lot of people don't really recognize what's going to happen. What do you guys think is going to happen? They're going to deport people. They're ripping families apart. What's happening with the children? I'd like to know. Who is taking our indigenous women and causing these murders and rapes? And what is happening? Wake up, because something is. So, what else? Tell me a little bit more.
I just wanted to echo what both of you were saying about, starting with the individual. It takes, one person to go out there and start this movement, and you build community off of that. The power that the individual has is so significant and monumental. But none of this could have happened, if you don't take that free will to do something, to act on something. Find an entry point for your humanity. All these issues that are happening, they're all related, and we can all relate in our own individual ways. Find that entry point, connect with something, because it's all related, we're all connected. And all these issues that are happening, they're all directly going to affect us. And you could ask what's going to happen. We're seeing really uncertain times, really weird things are happening. But I think I just want to emphasize that the way and the momentum that's building, I think things are just going to get more violent. At a rate that's just really inhuman, something that we're not going to be able to take as individuals. We really need to band together and refuse the violence, because my own community's faced this violence we have for centuries, as well as other communities, but the way that it affects everyone, it's really scary times for everyone, and it's really, so it's an emergency, for all of us to get together and make sure that our voices are heard. We have these movements, and they go beyond, the streets. They having these individual acts of resistance, they go on in the home, at school, at work. I just want to, make sure that, we're all finding a way to connect on an individual level and, find that humanity within ourselves, because I think it's been really lost recently.
Well, what's funny is that we're supposed to be in the woke era. It's a fucking nightmare. This is a nightmare, and I'll tell you this is, what I'm recognizing is that, when a person, it starts from home, right? It starts from when we're teaching our children. And there was a big time when everybody was teaching love. There was people that were actually teaching respect, Of course, it was, there was always that rule of thumb, right? Remember that word? I remember that rule. That's probably why I'm so crazy right now. But you guys, honestly, let's get to the reality of this is that you guys heard the emergency warning. This is a state of emergency. Our world is going through chaos because people cannot understand what it's like to let live. You know, support. Actually say, hey, guess what? Is that your dream? Let me help you make it happen. Hey, is this what you're going through? Come here, let me give you a hug, you know. If you don't like the person, well, hey, bro, your friend's over there, you know. There has to be help somewhere along the lines, and the only way that's going to happen is if we come together as a community, and it starts, how did you say it?
Chispa.
Chispa. One flame at a time, man. And we're not talking everybody go out there and go start some wilderness bullshit. No, we're talking about get it together now, so that way, guess what? We're actually saying, hey, we're aware what's going on, but we're not going to allow it to happen. And that's going to make us more alert to take care of our brothers, our sisters, and to be able to say, hey, you know what, your daughter's missing. And I'm not going to sit at home behind my TV just watching what's going to happen next. I'm going to actually get up there and go, look, you know, because that's what's happening right now. They're, oh, well, you know, I got news coverage, and we're just going to let it go by the wayside. Am I right? You know, and now we have to, guys, because if we don't do it, who is? I just keep asking now, who's going to do it? You know, and if I lose friends because I'm supporting something that is very important, you need to check yourself, bro, because I'm still your friend. You know.
I wanted to bring up one more thing, if I could.
Please.
And this issue is as big as the earth, okay? Because the earth is crying. The earth is really.
That's confirmation, by the way. Dings and buzzes are confirmation that this is truth being spoken.
The earth is crying and begging to be taken care of. We are the guardians of the earth. They recently pulled out of the Paris Peace Agreement, which is a huge, huge deal. They say that it's because it was costing them money. That is not true. We must stop the fracking and the oil digging and the fossil fuel emissions because we cannot breathe. The water has toxins. That's why so many people have cancer in New Mexico, because of the tests in Los Alamos and all of the nuclear testing that's been done. There's also another group that's called the Stop the War Machine that has been protesting against, at the Kirkland Air Force Base for years, you know, to publicize this, that there's testing going on that is toxic to our earth, it's toxic to us. And that's a huge issue. If there's nothing else that we've said that matters to you, you must have care about the earth.
And a lot of people just really care about destruction, and I think that's the cool way to go. You know, it's that whole Nazi mentality. Don't get banned. Anyway, you know, it's that narrow mindset of, oh yeah, I gotta be the most violent. I have to be the one to destroy everything. Another good song. But the truth of the fact is that if we can't stand together, we're gonna end up ruining any kind of future for any of our children, our grandchildren, you know. And if we can teach them, hey, guess what, guys, this isn't okay, hopefully that's going to change something, right? And I would really hope so. I mean, it's not that hard to pick up your trash, guys. It's not that hard to have your water tested. Have it tested, because I actually did that at home, and I had to get a purifier, right? And no, it's not that Walter, whatever yeah, probably in there too. Say my neighbors, I'm kidding. But the fact of the matter is there's a lot of things going on that we are not aware of. Ignorance is bliss, yeah, but that bliss is coming at a heavy price. So, you know, and that's something that I believe anyway, you know, and so what can we do? You know, we have this rally, and it's standing up for all people, the LGBTQ, like this is, why do they do that? You know, for the choices that we make as human beings, who we are as people, okay? If you choose to be with somebody, as long as there's love there, it doesn't matter, okay? We need to start walking in love. We need to start talking in love. This competition mindset, this I gotta make as much money as I possibly can mindset, You know what money is? Un puño de tierra. Have you ever heard that?
Puño de tierra.
Un puño de tierra. What that means is just one little speck of dirt is what you might take with you when you die. But what we leave behind is our legacy. That is who we are as people. So as this community, you know, and there's been a lot going on. A lot. Do you want to say a little bit more?
Please. Yeah, thank you for bringing up those points of what's happening locally at, you know, the different bases, the cancer rates. I think as we're talking about International Women's Day, I think something we all need to realize is, you know, you target the planet, you target women, the way that, you know, the ideas of like the feminine have been characterized, but as well as like Mother Earth, you know, as being a provider, as nurturing. You know, it goes back and forth. You target women, you target the Earth, so there's no coincidence that we're in a climate catastrophe while experiencing the highest rates of indigenous femicide. And you know, talking locally, thinking about what's happened here, being the birthplace of nuclearism for our country. You know, my people come from northern New Mexico, and that's also where you know, the atomic bomb was created, and you know, also no coincidence that we have the highest cancer rates up in northern New Mexico. So you know, just thinking locally, thinking about you know, how these relationships have started, and you know, what they mean for our communities, what they mean for us, our families. You know, always take that into account. And it's really important to speak about International Women's Day as not just one day or 1 month, but you know, it happens year round. Every day is International Women's Day. The way we unite and band together, even the men, even the masculine, that has a place in this movement. Because you know, you're talking about the planet, talking about the Earth is dying. Actually, the Earth is being killed. She's not dying. She's being killed. She's being murdered.
Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, all these things, they're all related, and I think there's a common cause and a common solution. You know, we have to target capitalism at its core. We have to target consumerism. You know, and really understand, you know, how we think about colonialism. You know, these are big world things, but they all trickle down into, you know, the individual, into local politics, into local everything. You know, how your family operates, you know, how you can find solidarity with people, you know, like what we're having today, this discussion. I think just educating people, bringing awareness to it is the first step, but from there, you know, the first step is thinking about it, but then from there you have to think about what kind of actions, and what kind of choices you're making, what kind of decisions you're choosing. You know, is that going to affect you, or is that going to affect everyone else you love? Yeah, I think having these conversations are so critical in what's happening right now.
And what's really hard about that is a lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You know, what is it? Hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, unfortunately, we're being fed evil. Every day that we're on our reels, and every day that we're going out there and we see somebody just screaming at someone else, or just, what do they call them? Karens, you know, things like that. You know what? If you can sit and make millions of dollars on TikTok or sell farts in a jar, could you guys imagine? No, I'm serious. You know, there's people that actually buy for that thing. You know, they're like, here, I want to pay for something that actually means something. You know what I mean? Make donations to the places that it's really going to go to. Because right now, if it's money-minded, well, then we've got to figure out how we're going to mine that money to keep these things from happening. Because it takes money to make these. It takes money to make shirts. It takes willpower and strength to walk in integrity and authenticity and keep yourself peaceful so you're not spraying that hatred on somebody else. And right now, we should be able to live and let live. Because we've already gone through the wars, man. We've already gone through all of it. We've already gone through the massacres. We've already gone through the lack of community. Maybe we should try something different. You know? Let's try something different.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first thing that's different, this is different. This is different because we're all able to talk to you. And hopefully you share this video so other people get to understand, you know? It's live, so you have a question, pop that up. It's all good, but this is not over. You know, this isn't over until we decide that we're gonna make that action, that follow through. Because we can talk a big talk. I mean, believe me, my ex-boyfriend was a big talker and slept with all my friends. I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. It's true. I'm still healing. But no, okay. But honestly, and I put humor in it because, you know, when it gets too serious, in this world, we get too serious. Next thing you know, we're going home and we're not sleeping. We're not eating. We're thinking, how can I change this immediately? Well, you start with you. And you start to say, hey, you know what? I want to be there. I want to stand for my community. I want to say, hey, you know what? I want to make a difference. And there's not a lot of people that do want to make a difference because you're in comfortability. Get out of your comfortability and start recognizing that our Mother Earth, needs help. They're doing those oil fields. You were talking about the oil fields. What do you think they're filling up the core of our earth with? Water. That is not going to hold it together, bro. There's sinkholes happening everywhere. You know, our animals are going extinct. You know, we can't even find a safe place to be ourselves without somebody coming at you and being like, oh, look, I can't believe, you know. No, man, it's not a competition. It's a mission. The mission is this. It's about time we walk in love and we walk in peace. And we stand together against these political things that have been destined by the Simpsons since 1956 after the war. I'm kidding. But, you know, and that's what's happening here, is that people are giving too many other people power.
That's right. Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. I'm just a girl. I don't know.
So we've come a long way. We've come a long way, even though everything we're saying sounds really terrible and dim and dismal. You know, in 1913 and 1909, when the International Women's Day started, you know, women were taking their kids to school to work with them and working 14, 16 hours a day, and then they had to go home and cook and clean and keep the family going. You know, this movement came from the labor movement, from the working women that stood up and fought to set up unions, and men and women and everything in between to fight for an 8-hour day. That was one big, huge demand, to fight against discrimination, against racism, talking about isms that you talked about. I wanted to define what fascism is because we've thrown that word around.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Don't mind.
Please.
Fascism is the highest stage of capitalism. And when capitalism cannot rule in the old way, with democracy, the sham and the glove of democracy, they tear it away like they did in Germany, okay, in Nazi Germany. And that's what's happening here. People are getting censored. Senator Green got censored at the Senate the other day because he stood up and said that they needed to stop the attacks on Medicaid. Okay, so I wanted to address the fear because fascism is a very scary word. We live in scary times, but we can stop it. We can stop it. It only takes one person together with millions and millions of people. So if it, like you said, it starts with us. It starts with letting our humanity in. And think about Anne Frank. You know, when I was a little girl, I read the book of Anne Frank, The Diary of Anne Frank. And I said, how did they allow what they did to the Jewish people to happen in Germany? And I would cry. I was 10 years old when this happened. Okay? And now I'm asking, how can we allow fascism to take hold in America?
You know, that's what I'm saying. If you guys are really woke and you can complain about Mr. Potato Head, maybe you should start complaining about the real thing. The real issues that are going here is that we're walking in a lack of love. And people hear the word love and they're like, oh my God, you know, no, man, it's about the love of self and being able to say, hey, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to be out there hurting people deliberately. I'm not going to take from you. Because right now that's what they're doing. They're taking peace. They're taking livelihoods. They're taking people. They're taking choices that we make. And they want to make it all about them because it's a me, me, me type of world. But we're a community. We are the world. We are what creates this world. And together, that's what we do. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean,
Yes,
you know, And so, I mean, that's why I got involved in this, okay? Because for one, a lot of people say, oh, she's just in the middle scene. Damn straight, because there's some work that needs to be done there too. But it's about community coming together. It's about people, humanity coming together. You know, you can see like the biggest, most hateful person, but once they see a kitten, they're like, oh, I love you, oh, kitty. You know, there's that, okay? Everybody is capable of that. Giving just even a smidgen, just a smidgen of getting out of self and saying there's a bigger picture here. And that big picture is coming together, women, men, everybody, bring your freaking dog, I don't care, on March 8th, and support something that matters.
11 o'clock.
It's at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, Student Union.
The Student Union. And
Yeah, like you can come through where the Frontier Restaurant is.
okay.
That's like kind of like the landmark for going there.
Okay.
That way, because the university is so big, but that would be the landmark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier is a staple here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mean, that's where the UNM kids always go to eat, and the ones that stay late at concerts is what we're gonna say. That's where we go eat, and I'm telling you, it's the best sober food. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna say this with everything that I am. This is a peaceful gathering. Okay? It's peaceful. This is about just awakening and letting people understand that we're coming together as a community. This is not for violence. This is not for, oh, look, they're going to do something good. I got to go screw it up. If that's what you want to do, just go play. Just get on your video games. Okay? You have Call of Duty calling you. But our Call of Duty is this. And this is the time that we need to come together. Because we are hurting ourselves, our future generations, our world. And guess what? How dare anybody think that they have the power to take a child away from their mother because of color and race? You know, I mean, unless of course the mom's really bad or whatever. But you know what I mean? There's other places that'll give them love. So tell me about this.
So you were asking about where do we go from here and what do we do? So I'm asking people to stand up in every way that you can in the name of humanity, to refuse to accept a fascist America and the world. And some people are doing it. They're going over there with their dogs and their signs on 4th and Lomas on Tuesday, and they're going to 550 and 528 on Saturday morning at 12. And other people are checking in to the refusefascism.org to learn about what's going on around the country and around the world, because there will be many actions. This is just one of many. Okay, there is International Workers' Day on May 1st that is coming up, and we will also be following up with this punch, with that big punch. Okay, so get ready for that one. And that's a Workers' Day, okay, and a day for everyone to take a stand. Any way that you can, go speak at PTA, go speak at your school. I know someone who went to school and talked about it, you know. Start a group. This is how this started. Some of these women that are being organizers and leaders today, I just met. You know, we're just coming together on this issue, but there's many more issues, right?
That's life. That's life. There's always going to be an issue, but it's how you handle it and how you respond to it is the key. Your perspective. Change your perspective, you'll change your life, right? But, so you guys have a lot of different groups that you work with in communities, huh?
They're coming together. It's becoming a united front against fascism, which is what we need to stop this.
Yeah.
And millions, we need millions
of people. Okay, guys? Millions of people. If you guys want to donate, that's awesome. But it really means that we need to stand together and not just talk about it, because we are united. You know, this was the United States of America. That means, guess what? All of us are not you know, we're all related in one way or another. If you don't believe me, take an ancestry test. Spit in that cup, let me tell you. I know, believe me. But you know, here's the thing is that we make the difference. And we can also control the way that things and the outcomes are when we're standing together and we're doing it out of the right place, the right space. So remember, I'm telling you, I'm going to stress this very much so. This is a peaceful event.
Yes,
all
ma'am.
of these community events that are happening, all of these groups that are coming in, right? It's to bring peace and knowledge. You want to be woke? It's time to wake up. Because guess what? We're no longer way in the back when we were fighting for lands. Now we're fighting for our lives. Big difference. I mean, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, you know, talking about coming together, what that looks like. I think this is us here today. This is us taking the power back. This is, you know, going to this march, this rally. Is the people taking the power back? Because we talked about, you know, fascism. You know, very few people have, you know, the most wealth in the world, and that's not representative of any of us. Most of us here. Yeah, coming together, that's what the people looks like. You know, we hear like we the people, this is we the people, you guys are we the people, everyone that will show up and has showed out, that's the people. Those are, you know, we see ourselves in other people. Yeah, so come together, take the power back. This is what it means, this is what it looks like. You know, I know you're an advocate for the metal community, you know, and how, you know, being in the metal community, how can you listen to this music, you know, be, you know, wear your colors, wear your vest without being in opposition to something. You know, stick it to the man. This is what it is. This talk has been going on for centuries, for ages. You know, has warped and like manifested itself in different ways. And right now, currently, this is what it looks like. This is, you know, the current state of the country. And everything that's going on, make sure, you know, just find different ways to speak your mind, to resist. You know, find different ways to bring your happiness up. You know, you talked about love and just make sure you keep finding that.
Concerts brings happiness.
It does. And
It
makes people
really does.
together.
The music brings happiness and brings people together.
It does. It
I
really
mean,
does.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm just a girl. No, honestly, this is what it's about. You know, we stand together with something that gives us freedom. When you are in a concert, like when you're in a musical environment or like something like that, there is no race, there is no religion, there is nothing but connection with the creators, the musicians that brought forth whatever it is that's going to move your soul.
Yeah.
And this, what we're doing here, what you guys are doing here, I just came in as a, hey, check it out. So look, what they're doing here, this is another way of bringing it together where we can just stand in who we are, standing in your personal power. Because that's what makes this world go round. Knowing that your power doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go there and go, no, it's none of that magical Harry Potter shit. We're talking about power of, hey, look, I love you. Let me help you. That's power because now somebody else is alive because you said those 2 words, right? 3 words, right? I had a Hercules moment there. Anyway, be mindful, guys, of how you're treating yourself. Be mindful how you're treating people, animals, anything that's in your life. Because the truth and the fact of the matter is, this is our one life. This is the only chance we have, this day right here, right now. Tomorrow's not promised. But we can do something today to change what's going to happen for someone else tomorrow. I mean, what do I know? I'm just kidding.
So we want to stop the war on women and gay and lesbians and queer people and transgenders, and we want all the different sectors of society to be protected. The disabled, the immigrants, the indigenous people, the workers. We want to build the earth and save the earth back to the way it was when it was beautiful and clean, without cancer and toxics. And now we have technology and that'll help us. But we need you guys, we need all of us to come forward on March 8th at 11 o'clock at the UNM campus, across the street from Frontier Restaurant at the Student Union Center. And bring your signs and bring your love and
Yes.
bring your anger to direct it in the correct direction, to change.
Stand up in power, but don't stand up as a bully. Don't be a bully. Just go in there. If it's bothering you, say, hey, this is bothering me, guys. Because it doesn't always have to come out as hate. If something bothers you, you don't always have to speak it out of hate. You can be like, this is bothering me. Can somebody please give me an answer? Give me an answer why. Why are people judging others as hard as they are? You know? And I think that standing up together with strength, that's what we need. We need to bring back our strength as a community. And what our ancestors fought for, man. The fight was over a long time ago because they fought for us. What are we doing, guys? Wake up. The war already happened. What's this war? Seriously. Okay.
And not stay home depressed. You know, it's just really amazing to see people out there. You know, everybody's happy. You know, you're talking about being happy in concerts. Well, we're going to be happy in protests too, because the people are coming together and changing and doing something to really change this universe and this country and this community. So get out of this, you know, the couch and go do something.
Yeah. You know, and then guess what, guys? Stagnation, it happens. Deer in headlight, you get scared, you don't want to move. Well, you're going to get hit by a car eventually. Look, it takes one breath. One breath. I'm okay. Say those words to yourself. I'm okay. And then get out there and say, this is not okay. But you know what? Today, I'm around people that understand my plight. And we're going to come together. And we're going to make sure that no one else has to go through this, man. When you have children and grandchildren and you're thinking about what's going to happen, our ancestors did that for us. They fought in blood, sweat, and tears. Why are we doing that again, guys? I thought we evolved. You know? Maybe they need to bring back the dinosaurs and just let them feast, right? But on that note, I know, they're like, Melissa, you're so crazy. I am a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But I stand for what I'm saying, and every time I say it's not a competition, it's a mission. Because this world is screaming, we're all screaming in one way or another. And depression, you can get locked in there for years. I was there, you know? But I had to change my perspective to change my life. And you guys can do that too. You can do that too. Don't be afraid, stand together.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for having us.
No, thank you so much. I hope we touched everything we're supposed to and didn't touch what we're not supposed to. And do you think you guys covered everything? Is there anything else you might want to say?
Yeah, I just want to, I guess, close out with, you know, thinking about, you know, all the dreadful feelings that that come with these conversations and like these topics, but just finding ways to you know, to like let that loose, let that, you know, like resolve yourself with those, you know, whether going to a concert, the energy that you have like in the mosh pit, take that out to the streets, take that out here. And if you're not able to make this event, there's more in the future. There's always something upcoming. Just like, you know, capitalism, colonialism, fascism has warped and manipulated itself throughout the years. So has the resistance as women, as queer people, you know, as men, as everybody. We've also adapted and, you know, learned to change the way we think and to think about how we, you know, resist differently, the way that, you know, these things are like living entities, constantly evolving, but so have we, and we'll continue to do so. We'll continue to stick together. Hope to see a lot of you out there, if not this weekend, always in the future. Yeah, just keep your humanity alive. Like they say, the Pueblo Revolt never ended, of 1680. This is what it looks like here today. This is what it looks like on Saturday. It's always going to keep reinventing itself, but the mission is there. You know, it's not a competition, it's a mission to save our humanity. You know, why are we facing such violent acts of discrimination? It's not natural, it's manufactured. And we can stop that, we can end that, and it just is a matter of coming together. So yeah, thank you, Melissa,
Oh,
thank
you're
you,
welcome.
Elena, for
You.
bringing this
Ladies,
together.
thank
This
you.
is really powerful.
This was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Say it one more time. What did you call it?
Chispa.
She's
La
Vamos a
chispa.
empezar la chispa.
La chispa, not the chisme. Okay, not the chisme, the chispa. Chisme is a whole nother level, which we're gonna talk about later. Because I have all
Maybe
kinds
you can bring your lighters.
Bring your lighters. La chispa. Remember, one flame can ignite and bring light into something that's so dark. So on that note, guys, pasta pasta, you crazy little noodles. We'll see you soon. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 8th. Be there. Thank you.
Go to refusefascism.org before Saturday and after Saturday.
Is it not yours?
And I will put the digital flyer on my wall. Remember, guys, like and share. Tell your friends, your family. You know, get mad, but don't get too mad. Eat some ice cream. I mean, that stuff really helps. But remember, it's up to us. This is our one day, our one life. It's up to us to change that. You know, it's our mindset that has to change.
Yes, ma'am.
And together we can do that.
Yes,
right?
we can.
Yes,
Si
say-
se puede.
Si
we
se
can
puede.
do it. Órale, gatos locos forever. Say it again one more time for me.
Chispa.
La chispa. It
Vamos a
started.
empezar la chispa.
We just started it, guys. Now it's up to you to share it and follow through, because we are. Catch you on the flip. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, for sure.